The trouble began in my old house, a weathered Victorian in Seattle's Admiral District, where the air carried the faint tang of salt from Puget Sound. My new place feels lighter, less oppressive, but a gnawing dread has clung to me since March, like a shadow I can't shake. On the night of March 30th, I lay beneath my blankets, head turned toward the nightstand where my phone charged, a habit born of checking the time or silencing alarms. A low, rasping sound slithered into my dreams, rough and guttural, like a beast drawing breath. I lifted my head, holding my own breath to confirm it wasn't me. The noise persisted, deepening into a growl, unmistakably male, drifting from the corner of my room by my cluttered desk. It grew closer, its rhythm jagged, skipping like a broken metronome, each rasp louder, more insistent. My hands gripped the blanket, my body trembling as I fought to keep my heart from bursting. I stayed frozen, eyes locked on the darkness, until the sound faded after 20 agonizing minutes. Then my phone buzzed, relentless against the wood. My shaking hand grabbed it, seeing Lucas's name on the screen. I answered, voice unsteady. "Hey, you okay?" Lucas asked, his tone sharp with concern. I frowned at the phone. "What's that supposed to mean?" "You sound off, like something's wrong." I glanced around my room's dim corners. "I thought you called because something happened to you." "It did, sort of," he said, voice dropping. "You remember that beach party last weekend? We called it lame, but the crew dragged me along." I shrugged, though he couldn't see. I'd have gone too. Sounded fun enough. "Not fun," he muttered. "We ended up at the shoreline. Then some of us hit the old lighthouse to keep the night going." "Why the shore?" I asked. "It's partly fenced off." "Yeah, well, we heard about a body found there years back. Wanted to see the spot." His voice faltered, then went silent. "Lucas? You there?" "Yeah," he said quietly. "We messed around in the lighthouse, but nothing big happened. Just happened and left." His words felt guarded, like he was hiding something. The silence between us was thick, like we were trapped in a dark room, too scared to speak plainly. I tried to mention the rasping, but my throat closed up, words stuck. We lingered in that heavy quiet until he hung up, leaving a chill that sank into my bones. The next day, I called Lucas obsessively, needing to unpack that night, but got only his voicemail. I reached his mom, who said he was too sick to talk, vomiting, diagnosed with laryngitis. When I asked about the lighthouse and the body on the shore, his dad took the phone, his voice edged with irritation. He'd heard rumors from Admiral locals, sudden suicides, vanishings, people choking in their sleep. Some claimed the lighthouse's old owners had called up something dark, something that lingered, shunned even by the seabirds. A new owner halted public access, and the incident stopped. "Stay away from that place," he said. "Let it crumble." That evening, I told my mom about the rasping. She dismissed it, saying we'd move soon to be near her job as an archivist at Seattle Pacific University, far from Admiral's heavy air. That night, crickets sang me toward sleep, but their chirping faded, replaced by silence. Then the rasping returned, angrier, paired with wet footsteps slapping the floor, like something rising from water. It felt inches from my face as I pressed against the headboard, knees to my chest. A guttural keen echoed in my ears, like it was hovering, waiting. I squeezed my eyes shut, refusing to look. The torment lasted 20 minutes, the most hateful presence I'd ever felt, then vanished. The next night, no rasping came, but Lucas's cryptic call and the lighthouse story kept me restless. I confided in my mom again, and she showed me her home office, shelves stuffed with Seattle's maritime history, documents, certificates, books on lighthouses. I dove into records about Alki Point Lighthouse, not Ali, a name I misheard from Lucas. One book detailed a body found on Alki Beach in 2013, and Ryan Voss, son of the lighthouse's owner, who died from suffocation, a neck injury to cause. Another noted the Voss family, Dutch-German immigrants who owned the lighthouse since the 1930s, running tours until 2014, when the Coast Guard took over. Online, I found complaints about a rancid, mildew smell in the lighthouse, enough to end tours. The word "sickly" hit me. I'd felt nausea too, after the rasping. Curious but uneasy, I asked my mom to take me to Alki Point. She refused but offered her university archives instead. At Seattle Pacific, while she met with a professor, I pored over Alki records. Half the documents, old notes, interviews, had Wiedergänger scrawled across them, smudged and frantic, penned by different hands. I flipped pages faster, heart racing, until nausea surged. I ran to the bathroom, gagging, and vomited murky water laced with coppery hair strands. My hands shook as I gripped the sink, tasting sweat, the word Wiedergänger burning in my mind. Back home, sleep eluded me, haunted by the documents and the hair. The next day, on a family outing to state parks, I struggled, breathless, drained, though moments of normalcy flickered through. My parents worried, but I brushed it off. Later, my phone buzzed with a text from Lucas. "You okay?" Our last call got weird. I asked if he was better. "Tired, but my voice is back," he replied. "I threw up last night." I hesitated, then typed, "About the other night, sorry I hung up," he said. "Thought you were pissed." "What happened at the lighthouse?" "Nothing much," he said, but his tone faltered. I heard this crackling rasp out of nowhere. Then I felt like garbage. Doctors found a bruise on my neck, said it was trauma. My blood ran cold. "I've heard it too," I admitted. "I feel like something's with me," he texted. At the hospital, I saw this pale figure, half visible, copper hair, glassy eyes. My stomach churned, picturing the hair in the sink. I returned to my mom's office, certain the Voss family and the lighthouse held answers. Her records mentioned Wiedergänger on residential accounts, alongside Voss, and reports of rasping breaths day and night. Victims described vomiting, neck bruises, then bloodshot eyes, often after visiting the lighthouse. Some saw a ragged man, copper hair dangling, looming over them, and forgot. That night, I couldn't sleep, the word Wiedergänger echoing. I searched online. It meant one who walks again, a restless spirit. I found Elias Voss's funeral photos, his copper hair matching the strands I vomited. A faint keen rose in my room, then the rasping, never falling. Water seeped from the plaster. I bolted, heart pounding, down the dark hallway to the light switch. The rasping followed, stopping when I flipped the switch. The wall was dry, but the hallway light flickered. I ran to my parents' door, banging, screaming. The rasping grew louder, and I glanced back. A half-dead figure stood at the hall's end, pale, veins visible, copper hair over glassy eyes. It lurched toward me, joints creaking, then vanished as my mom opened the door. "What's wrong?" she asked. I gasped, "Something's here." Comparing my symptoms to Lucas's and the records, vomiting, the bruise I found on my neck, I feared the third symptom, bloodshot eyes. My mom promised to move by May. During packing, she got a call from Lucas's mom but wouldn't share details. I called Lucas secretly, reaching his dad instead. He confirmed the rasping in their home, Lucas's bloodshot eyes, and then, voice breaking, said they'd found Lucas torn apart on his bed after the rasping echoed from his room. My phone slipped from my hand, the horror sinking in. The Wiedergänger had claimed him, and I feared I was next.